Hey, what is up everybody? ArmchairTuna back again with another video. And in today's video, I am going to be going over the top 5 worst base locations to build in New Game Plus. Now, before the video starts, just because a base location that you like is on this list doesn't mean that, you know, it's relatively bad. I mean, I'm going to say this, some base locations that I mentioned in this video are probably still like decent or viable to build at, even though, you know, they're on this video for being the top 5 worst. These are more just locations that you should just reconsider building at instead of like just building at them. So just because, you know, maybe, I don't know, Pagoda is on this video, which it's not, you can still build at it, okay? Like, because you can build anywhere you want to, okay? I'm not going to stop you. No one is going to stop you, okay? You have your own freedom to build wherever you want. But like I said before, these are just locations you should reconsider building at, okay? So without wasting any more time, let's get into the number 5 spot. All right, so for the 5th spot of today's video, it is going to be the Bronny Boy bin. Now, the Bronny Boy bin is actually a pretty decent location to build. Well, why is it on this list? Well, it's for one reason. It is these 2 green shield bugs that are up here. And some of you might know this already, but once you kill these 2 green shield bugs, they actually don't respawn up here for the entire playthrough. But because we're talking about New Game Plus, once you do New Game Plus, these 2 green shield bugs will actually respawn in. And if you build your base like right there, for example, it's going to get pretty hectic once you teleport back or come back to your base and find out that one or both of them are either right outside your base or actually right inside your base. And once you try to get rid of them, they're just going to damage and destroy your base as well as gas it out. So it's really annoying. But I will say this, it mostly depends on where you build on top of the Bronny Boy bin, because obviously if you build right in the middle, you're going to have a hard time. But I would say if you build more like frontally up here, or like in one of the corners over in the front side, honestly just depends on where you build, because these 2 corners, they don't really go up to this frontal area. And it also depends on how big your build is. Like if it's a huge mansion, then obviously that's going to be a problem. But if it's like a small house, then it probably shouldn't be that big of a problem. And to be completely honest, out of all of the locations in this video, this one probably takes the spot for being a location you can honestly get away with building a New Game Plus, just because it depends on where you build at. And obviously, if you build like I said, if you build up here and then kill the green shield bugs, you won't have to worry about them for the rest of your New Game Plus playthrough. Or if you just want to stay in like New Game Plus 4 or 6 or 5, for example, or just any New Game Plus for that matter, then you don't have to worry about them through the entire playthrough, because you can just kill them, build, and then boom, you have your base up here. So that is why I'm putting the spot in the number 5 spot. And let's get on to the number 4 spot. All right, everyone. And for the 4th location of today's video, it is actually going to be the Sandbox. Now, I know what all of you are thinking, well, why would you build in the Sandbox to begin with? And to that I say, I know there's actually a few people who have built in the Sandbox. I know some people built in the castle over there. There's some people that built, I think, on top of the Sandbox over there. But for the most part, usually I don't see that many people build in the Sandbox for how it is, which does make a lot of sense, because as you can see, one of the negative effects, I'm already starting to sizzle. Okay, now you can stop the sizzle if you actually build yourself a little structure, but of course I don't have the resources on me right now to build it. And another thing, all of the ant lions okay? All of the antlions, which by the way, their first move is by doing the stupid dive attack, which is incredibly annoying. And not only that, there are so many antlions over here and just scattered throughout the entirety of the sandbox. Now, a lot of people might find this location interesting because, well, it's inside a giant sandbox, and also it's really, really hard to get raided by anything. I actually don't know if you can get raided by anything besides maybe black ants, and obviously like flying insects like wasps, bees, mosquitoes. Those are probably like the only things you can really get raided by. Like with all of the factors, with the sizzle, the ant lions, especially infused ant lions, I almost forgot to mention that. It's not really worth making a base inside, not even like a temporarily base. I would actually much rather have a base like over here, and there's an antlion literally right here. I'm gonna take out real quick, but anyways, like I said, I'd rather have a temporarily base like right here, or like I don't know, somewhere outside of the sandbox that's just not inside of the sandbox. But overall, I would really recommend building here, and that is why it's going to be on the number 4 spot. So anyways, let's get on to the number 3 spot. All right, so I was a little bit conflicted on what to do for the number 3 spot, but overall, I just decided to do this spot for the number 3 spot, and that is going to be the Black Ox Den in the like northeast or just the east section of the yard. And the reason why I did it was because you can actually build in here. I'm going to actually kill these black ox beetles real quick before I actually do show off that you can actually build in here, but you can actually build in here. So as you can see, I can place down as many of these little floors as much as I can. Here I could even, what I'm gonna do is you can also place down a bunch of these pebble foundations, which I remember I really wanted to do a base like this because you can actually build down here. It would be really, really fun. It would be almost like a bunker base to where, yeah, you won't get much light, but also it's still underground, so it's still going to be a really cool base location. So the question is, why is this so bad if, you know, you could just kill the black ox beetles and be done? Well, bad news. The black ox beetles respawn like the Bronny Boy bin with the first location. They don't work like the green shield bugs on top. Unlike the green shield bugs where once you kill them, they're gone for the rest of your playthrough. The black ox beetles stay here. It takes around 3 in-game days for them to respawn, but eventually, once they do respawn, they're going to be all over your builds in here, maybe even under them, and as soon as you go to fight them, because of how big they are just going to destroy everything. And oh man, don't even get me started on that rock attack. That rock attack they do will absolutely obliterate everything in here. Now, I will say this. The reason why I put it at number 3 and not number 2 is because it's actually almost impossible to get raided down here. Besides maybe here is probably a bad example because you can have a few creatures sneak through here and damage stuff hit there. But overall, it's going to be really hard or almost next level to impossible to get raided at all while you're in here for a really good reason. As well, it's underground. There's not much the creatures can do. So anyways, that is the 3rd spot, and let's move on to the 2nd location of this video. All right, so for our 2nd location, this is going to be kind of a surprise, but it is actually going to be the rotten tree. Now, while we're heading over to the location that I'm mostly talking about, the rotten tree, I'm just going to point out a few of its flaws already. One of them you can already see, and that is abundant amount of wasps that are around the tree, which, by the way, all I could say is in New Game Plus, the wasps are absolutely awful. Oh, and another thing, the ticks. The ticks are super annoying. Not only are they, well, like I said, super annoying and small to deal with, they also kind of blend in with the environment, in my personal opinion. And another thing, these tiger mosquitoes, the tiger mosquitoes suck so badly. They are incredibly annoying. I just don't know what to say. Like they just suck. Like everything about this location just really sucks. And I'm actually going to activate the handy gnat here because of how annoying it is to get up here. But this was mostly for a milk molar, but I've actually seen some people legitimately build on top of this peak, whether it be like a wizard tower or I don't know, just some sort of base high up in the air. I've even seen some people build like over here or overall just around this location. And all I could say is just why this location is just absolutely awful. The sheer amount, like one, these wasps are so annoying. Two, the tiger mosquitoes are also super annoying. And three, the ticks also almost seal the deal for this as being one of the most annoying places to build. It just a location where it's like, why would you build at? You know, just why? Like, it seems cool. Don't get me wrong. It's a really cool location to have to like build on top of this rotten stump, almost as like a mountain. But overall, it's just not worth building at with all of the annoying creatures that can easily destroy your base that are just surrounding the entire area. Let's get on to the last location, which I think a lot of you are actually going to be shocked at what I'm going to say for this last location. Let's get on to it. All right, and for our final location, oh, you might be surprised. Where are we? We are at the Mysterious Machine. A lot of you will be kind of surprised at why I'm at the Mysterious Machine. Oh, well, it's a tier 1 area. This should be safe. I mean, you know, you could build here freely without getting your stuff destroyed. Not exactly, okay? The reason why I say that is because of one of those things you already saw, which were over here, which is in New Game Plus, the creature spawns actually change. So right here, instead of a ladybug, it is a black ox beetle over here. So a lot of these like tier 1 creature spawns, they end up getting swapped out with harder creatures that can easily just wreak more havoc on your base. Not to mention, like I said, they can also be infused. Really sucks. And also on rare occasions, you can have soldier ants, which can be a pest, which honestly, they're not even that hard. But they just still add fuel to the fire. And not to mention the wolf spiders that like to roam over here. There are so many wolf spiders. I shouldn't say so many. I would say like there is one wolf spider that really likes to roam over here at night. And it's really annoying because, like I said, for the 30th time in this video now, it can be infused and it can wreak havoc on your base. Now, ignoring this eyesore that is my first base, in here, and the reason why I picked this base location is for one huge reason. You can get raided by every single faction in the entire game down here in the grasslands with almost 0 to no protection, especially with how bad the terrain is, for example. So this is probably like one of the safer locations to build up here. Like nothing over here is flat. There is no location here like in the middle of the grasslands near the Mysterious Machine to where the entirety of it is just a smooth, flat terrain. All of it is just jagged. And like I said, because you can get raided by everything, 9 times out of 10, the raids, usually something will always be destroyed on your base because like how bad it really is. And look, I'm already getting raided by wasp. I'm getting raided by wasp just by being here. And better yet, you know, I wasn't even planning on this to be in the video, but I'm actually going to attempt to fend off this wasp raid as best as I can without my base with trying not to get my base destroyed, okay? Because of how jagged the terrain is, it's going to be hard to traverse to certain areas of your base depending on how big your base is. For example, if it is this absolute eyesore of a behemoth, it's going to take a while to, you know, actually get to your base, well, to actually maneuver around your base. And I can't even kill this wasp here because it's just being so annoying. You know what, better actually, so let's go over here, because it said that there are wasps over here that were attacking my base, and it actually doesn't look, oh, no, never mind. And look, as you can see, there's infused wasp. There's an infused wasp right here that's already destroying a huge, okay, granted, I destroyed the stairs by myself, but as you can see, there's a huge, like, already, imagine that was my base. And look, a huge portion of my base is already gone because of the fact that, well, like, I was stuck, I was not paying attention, and, you know, they're just obliterating my whole base. I'm pretty sure that this is the last creature of the raid, and I'm sucking at parrying. But as you can see down here, pretty much all of this is destroyed down here. Like, just from that sheer example, because of how the terrain was, I couldn't really get here in time to, you know, defend that portion of my base, which, to be honest, wasn't even a portion of my base. But it just imagine that was a portion of your base that got destroyed because of how bad the terrain is over here. Anyways, that is pretty much all for today's video. If you all enjoyed, please make sure to like and subscribe, as it'll help out a ton. And I will see you all in the next rounded video. Peace.